The fall of Khartoum to the Sudanese armed forces in early 2025, led by General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, marks a pivotal shift in Sudan's civil war, with significant repercussions for Ethiopia, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, and the broader Horn of Africa. This development, following nearly 2 years of conflict with the Rapid Support Forces, alters regional power dynamics at a time of fragile stability. Below is an updated analysis reflecting Ethiopia and Somalia's evolving relationship. Ethiopia, sharing a volatile border with Sudan, faces both risks and opportunities with the SAF's recapture of Khartoum. The stabilization of eastern Sudan could reduce cross-border threats from the RSF, which had destabilized areas near Ethiopia's Gedaref region, hosting Sudanese refugees and Ethiopian returnees. This might ease pressure on Ethiopia's strained military, already stretched by internal conflicts in Tigray, Amhara, and Oromia. A more secure border could also facilitate trade and refugee management, critical for Ethiopia's economy. However, the SAF's victory introduces challenges. Sudan's military has close ties with Egypt, a key adversary in the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam dispute. A strengthened SAF backed by Cairo might push a harder stance on Nile water negotiations, threatening Ethiopia's hydropower ambitions. Additionally, Sudan's alignment with Eritrea, another regional rival wary of Ethiopia's Red Sea aspirations, could complicate border security and diplomacy. Yet, Ethiopia's tentative rapprochement with Somalia offers a counterbalance. Cooperation against al-Shabaab, including efforts to secure Mogadishu, could strengthen Ethiopia's position as a regional security partner, potentially offsetting tensions with Sudan by showcasing its stabilizing role in the Horn. For Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, the fall of Khartoum arrives amid domestic turmoil and shifting regional alliances. Facing insurgencies in Amhara and Oromia and a fragile peace in Tigray, Abiy's leadership is under strain. His pursuit of Red Sea access via the January 2024 Somaliland deal has alienated Somalia historically, but as of 2025, a tentative rapprochement, spurred by Turkey's mediation in December 2024, has opened dialogue. This includes limited cooperation against al-Shabaab, a mutual threat which Abiy can leverage to bolster his image as a regional statesman. The SAF's success, however, tests this narrative. Abiy's earlier engagement with Burhan, for example, their July 2024 meeting in Port Sudan, aimed to position Ethiopia as a mediator, but his perceived RSF leanings and tensions with Egypt-aligned Sudan may limit his influence. A consolidated SAF could align with Eritrea and Egypt, forming a bloc skeptical of Abiy's ambitions, particularly if Ethiopia's Somaliland deal persists as a flashpoint. Conversely, his improving ties with Somalia offer a diplomatic lifeline. By emphasizing joint counter-terrorism efforts against al-Shabaab, Abiy might mitigate isolation, though this requires balancing Somalia's demand to abandon the Somaliland MOU, a concession that could alienate domestic supporters. The Khartoum shift thus forces Abiy to recalibrate his foreign policy while managing internal dissent. The Horn of Africa, plagued by instability in Somalia, South Sudan and Ethiopia, faces a reshaped landscape post-Khartoum. The SAF's victory doesn't end Sudan's war. RSF strongholds in Darfur suggest a protracted insurgency, perpetuating a humanitarian crisis that has displaced 14 million, with millions fleeing to Ethiopia, Chad and South Sudan. This strains regional resources already stretched by drought and conflict. Regionally, the SAF's alignment with Egypt and Eritrea could escalate tensions with Ethiopia over GERD and Red Sea access, though Ethiopia's cautious rapprochement with Somalia softens this blow. Cooperation against al-Shabaab, aimed at securing Mogadishu, reflects a shared interest that might stabilize parts of the Horn, even as Somalia diversifies partnerships with Egypt and Turkey. External actors, Russia and Iran supporting the SAF, the UAE linked to the RSF, exploit these fault lines, risking a proxy struggle over Red Sea routes. The Horn's security and economic cohesion hang in the balance. Sudan's instability disrupts trade, while Ethiopia-Somalia counter-terrorism efforts offer a fragile bright spot. Without broader mediation, possibly via the African Union, the region risks further fragmentation, with Sudan's war amplifying existing rivalries and humanitarian woes. The SAF's capture of Khartoum reshapes the Horn's geopolitics. For Ethiopia, it eases border pressures but heightens GERD-related risks, tempered by its Somalia rapprochement and anti-Al-Shabaab cooperation. For Abiy, it challenges his regional clout, though ties with Somalia provide leverage if he navigates domestic and diplomatic trade-offs. For the Horn, it signals ongoing instability, with Sudan's conflict rippling outward, mitigated only slightly by Ethiopia-Somalia security collaboration.